Hey, everybody, this is Ramon Ray, founder of Smart Hustle Media. Thanks for joining me for another, what I think is going to be exciting discussion with Adam Johnson, who's with Active Campaign. And yeah, indeed, we'll touch on email marketing and other marketing concepts. But you know what? As we tape this and discuss this, we're all a global challenge we're in the midst of with Corona. And so we'll talk about some of that, what he's seeing the Active Campaign customers are doing, what they're doing best, and et cetera. So Adam, welcome to the Smart Hustle discussion. Talk with me today. I appreciate your time and sharing your insights with us. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Ramon. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So Adam, if you don't mind, just share with us a little bit about yourself. Whether you want to talk about what you like to eat, do you jog or not, what your favorite movies are. Are you a geek and sit in front of your computer like me? I can wake up at 5 a.m. and look back at my computer and realize, oh, I've been sitting here all day. So share with us who Adam is, whatever you want to share with our audience.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you. To your point, I love to eat, love to cook. I run occasionally.
Okay.
But really, my primary thing, aside from spending time with my family, which you may hear in the background.
No problem. I love it. And by the way, if you hear a beep, pretend you don't hear a beep. My smoke detector's right there. And today of all days, the batteries are out. I put 3 9-volt batteries in it. It's still beeping. So I think it needs fresh ones. The ones I put in were like from 1970. So continue. Yeah. Anybody babies, no problem. We're in the hustle. So continue. It's all good.
Yeah, awesome. So as you mentioned, my name's Adam Johnson. I'm with Active Campaign, which is a Chicago-based company, B2B SaaS company. We work with a lot of small businesses. And really what we focus on is trying to help customers deliver amazing experiences to their customers. The company's been around since 2003. It really started as a small business and kind of a boutique consulting sort of approach. And our founder and CEO, Jason Vandeboom, really noticed there were a lot of common requests from small businesses as it related to how they were staying in touch with their customers. And so he took those and created a product which turned out to be Active Campaign. And that's now scaled to really amazing heights. I mean, we've got almost 100,000 customers. We've got offices in countries around the world, and excited to continue to help businesses of all sizes really deliver amazing experiences. Primarily, before I joined Active Campaign, as you alluded to earlier, I was with Salesforce for about 7 years, and so for the last
another great company.
Yeah, great business for sure. And so I've spent the last decade helping small and mid-sized companies use technology to improve their businesses. And so that's really something I'm super passionate about and really get a lot of enjoyment from.
Got it. And so I thought my brain was leading me to also talk about email marketing. But Adam, tell me, Active Campaign, why don't you just take a few minutes to talk about these services? I think it's more than just email marketing, but you guys have a full suite of, I think, marketing things for small businesses, as I understand.
Yeah, really. I mean, email marketing is a component of what we do, but really what we are focused on is delivering a platform that allows businesses to kind of orchestrate the entire experience that they're trying to manage with their customer, whether that's, from building awareness and marketing or managing a sales process, and even starting to get more into how do you manage the ongoing life cycle of those customers. So we're really about, building an ecosystem and trying to allow businesses of all sizes to deliver amazing experiences.
Wonderful. As we record this discussion, Adam, of course, as you know, it looks like possibly you're in your own home office, and I am as well. I'm always here. You may go to a corporate office all the time, but what are some of the one right at the top advice you have? And this is not easy to answer, but I've been asked a lot, Ramon. How do we sell our pens, our coffee shops, even though many at this time we're all in sequester or closed? But how do we sell our chapsticks? How do we do campaigns? How do we say whatever the normal stuff we did? So my question to you, Adam, any guidance on how we can be sensitive to those of us who can market, who are open, just at a really top level? What are you guys doing? I don't think you can be business as usual. Hey, 20% off. What do we do when there's times of distress, something like this, which is unique? What do you see in the market?
Yeah, this is obviously completely unprecedented. I mean, it's unlike anything I've ever seen, and hopefully unlike anything I'll ever see again in my lifetime. Or my kids' lifetimes. I think, the big thing is I think you have to strike a good tone. I think you have to be empathetic and understanding, and you have to be cognizant of the fact that people on the other end of the phone are nervous and anxious and potentially going through things. And so I think you just have to start with just being very human and just having the right tone and the right approach. But what I would say is it's definitely not the right time to stop talking to your customers. I think people are still buying. They may be buying in a different way, but people are still buying things that they need. They're still shopping online. I think what we've seen is this is causing businesses who have historically not been accustomed to delivering their goods or services in this fashion to really think differently about
That's right.
how
That's right.
they're going to market.
No, you're so true on that. You're right. I'm seeing so many people. I mean, it's an amazing, even the bigger companies, you guys are a SaaS first company, but larger companies like Ramon, how do we do this? Or I'm talking to people who are like, this is only my first webinar, first Zoom. I'm like, really? So, Adam, what are some of the best practices that you're seeing your customers are doing? And it's a broad question, but when you look at marketing for small businesses, what are some of those best practices and things that small businesses are doing right and that you're seeing that they're doing?
Well, I think in the world we live in today, there's so much going on. There's so much communication happening. I think one of the big things that is really important for businesses of any size, really, to keep in mind, but especially for small businesses, is to make sure that communication is relevant and that it's personalized. I think a lot of small businesses, especially when they're getting started, will think not much about the strategy that goes into communication, but they'll think, I need to communicate. And so they won't necessarily jump to a sophisticated marketing strategy with good personalization that is focused on being super relevant and super timely. And so they may default to kind of a more basic ESP, take a more kind of broadcast approach to messaging to their customers. And I think what we see is that small businesses are doing particularly well, whether it's with email or text or whatever, doing a very good job of contextualizing that communication, making sure that they're sending the right messages at the right time, and that the content is just super personalized and very relevant to the audience.
And how do they start with that, Adam? Let's go that a bit deeper. Let's talk to the person that's making it up, $700,000 company, $4 million company, relatively small, 4 guys in a garage, 2 girls in an apartment, who knows? How do they start with that? Because most of us, I think, know how to, except for those who are just starting, put a subject line, do an email, hit send. Got it. And I know it's not fair. You can't talk for hours and you'd say, go to Active Campaign's website and learn it. But overall, those who are saying, you know what, let me start with doing a little bit this better. And I'm guessing things like segmentation and the right time and things. Can you go a little bit deeper how we start with that? Those who are listening and like, you know what, let me see more how I can do this for my own business.
Yeah, for sure. I think first and foremost, it starts with understanding who your customers are and gathering data, making sure that you're tracking information, that you understand kind of the big moments of engagement that you have with a customer, whether that's their interaction with your website, their interaction with the content you have, how they buy from you, how they actually implement and use your service or the product that you're selling to them. And if you can capture good information about those big moments of interaction, then you can start to use that information to figure out the appropriate ways to personalize your message over time. So really, like the infrastructure, the tool that you use to deliver the messaging is important, obviously, but you've got to develop that understanding of your customer and the way that they're interacting with you to be able to really make good personalized communication.
That's powerful. So for an example, could that be something like out of 10,000 customers, 200 of them maybe bought the red shoes. So instead of doing an email blast or webinar, whatever it is, on, hey, everybody, here's all of our shoes, just email those people the offer or the thought or whatever it is on red shoes. It's maybe a silly example, but am I on the right track? How to do that?
That's a perfect example. And I would say, to take it even one step farther is, of those 200 people who purchased the red shoes, how many of them looked at the blue shoes next? And using that information to then retarget to those customers for the secondary purchase of what the next most relevant product might be based on what they've already purchased.
That is powerful. And going to and again, to those who want to know Active Campaign or any of the great solutions out there that can do this, you have to go to the websites. But now I guess my question, Adam, when we want to start with things like that, if I used Active Campaign, let's take that for an example. Is it relatively easy? Meaning, because we know how to build a Facebook page. Sure. We know how to do a landing page, maybe with other tools are competitors of yours that are a point solution. I get that. But man, this stuff seems like Amazon-esque, where I have to have, 50 programmers in a garage doing this. So can you walk us through verbally? Is it relatively easy to do? Once I have my Pixel maybe and I got my shopping cart, can you just maybe high level? Can anyone do this? I guess is my question. That kind of detail of what you said.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, that's something that has really set ActiveCampaign apart, and why we have the momentum that we have is that we're taking some of this technology that's really sophisticated and really powerful, and historically has really only been accessible to larger businesses who have big IT staffs or huge budgets where they can pay consultants a lot of money to customize these processes. And we're making that approach to marketing more accessible to really businesses of any size, down to even solopreneurs or main street retail stores. And I think that's a big part of what has given ActiveCampaign such momentum in the market, is that we're easy to do business with. We provide a lot of resources to help make people successful. We care deeply about our customers. And it is also, relative to a lot of others in the market, very easy to implement and manage. We also go, I would say, kind of above and beyond for our customers. And if you do check out our website, you'll see on there that we actually have published a customer success commitment, which is really just a testament to how seriously we take, helping people get up and running and making sure they have the resources that they need. And to a certain extent, kind of putting our money where our mouth is on making sure that businesses can be successful with these tools.
And ActiveCampaign executives wear nice shirts. Curious, Adam. Also, what do you call this this thing we talked about today? Because I think this was a good part, good of our discussion. What do you call this? People who are looking to do this. Again, we know email marketing. Other terms we have retargeting. So many terms. This thing where I like, which is, it's not new, but for me, usually we don't get into it. Not just targeting those who bought something or who showed interest, but those who showed interest. What's the next thing they want? Is there any industry term or something that we call this type of marketing?
Well, what we refer to it as is customer experience automation. So we are actually kind of pioneering this category of not just focusing on email marketing, not even just focusing on marketing automation, which a lot of people have thought of, but we are trying to take that one step further, and really lead the way in what we refer to as customer experience automation, which is really driving from awareness through repurchase and even in support of customers.
And it's my thinking, Adam, and I think the reason why we use Amazon as one good example of it, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think that once it's a setup, yes, it's more profitable for the business. You make more money, but I think customers want it. Listen, I love Matt Damon movies.
Yeah.
Really. So I don't want to see them. My wife likes Lifetime. It's just not my jam. So I like it. If you follow what I'm saying. If I bought orange shirts, show me orange shirts and maybe what you think I may want, but I'm just not, unless I'm buying it for my wife, I'm not buying heels. If that kind of corny example, if you get, so I think the customer wants it, I think.
100% they do. I mean, I think especially, those are especially great examples. I mean, I definitely gravitate towards, brands and experiences that can demonstrate that they understand me and the things that I want. And I think, but that doesn't have to be limited to businesses like Amazon. Really, it's possible for
yes
to deliver that type of experience to their customers, and that's really a big part of what we're trying to tackle. And I just love those examples. I mean, those are things we talk about all the time as reference points for what we're trying to help businesses, even small businesses, accomplish.
Absolutely. Adam, anything I didn't ask you today that you wanted to touch on? I know there's a lot. We could have a whole 4-hour class on this, but I think this one nugget was great for our audience. Anything you wanted to mention I didn't ask that we need to know about?
No, I would say the one thing is, really people, you should use humans and use people within your businesses where they add the most value. I think especially for small business owners and founders, they should be investing their time into things that are really important, that add significant value to the business, and trying to leverage tools and technology in other places that can free them up to do that.
I love it. Adam, one more time, give us your full name, your title, and who you work for.
I'm Adam Johnson. I'm the SVP of Sales for ActiveCampaign.
Awesome. My name is Ramon Ray, ladies and gentlemen, of Smart Hustle. You can find interviews like this, amazing people like Adam, on smarthustle.com. Check out our Smart Hustle podcast, smarthustle.com/podcast. Definitely give us a rating if you're hearing my voice, and check out smarthustle.com. And Adam, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Ramon.